Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Torn Down the Middle, Chapter 18, and this one is titled Unexpected. You babbled on, with Todoroki just sitting quietly beside you, letting you get it all out. When you finally took a breath and calmed down, you were equal parts relieved and mortified that you'd just emotionally dumped on him like that, but he didn't seem fazed in the slightest. Oh, I'm so sorry. You sniffed. That was hella embarrassing. You couldn't look him in the eye, so just kept your gaze steady on the ground. Todoroki shook his head. Not at all, Yin. I know what it's like to bottle emotions up. It's not good to pen them up. You sniffed and looked up at him, giving him a weak smile. Thanks, Todoroki, you said in a quiet voice. Shoto, he replied softly. Would you call me Shoto? Your eyes shot up and met his. He looked away quickly and his cheeks were slightly pink with embarrassment. Sorry, that was too forward, he said regretfully. No, not at all, Shoto, you said. Hearing his first name roll off your tongue like that made you feel funny inside. Todoroki's blush deepened, and he turned his head and looked at you gently. Thank you, Yin, and thank you for confiding in me. You're my friend, Shoto. I'm just happy you spent time to listen to my useless ramble, you said with an embarrassed laugh. It wasn't useless, Yin, and you're welcome, anytime. I'm here for you, he said with a gentle smile. Here, He pulled his phone out and handed it to you. Would you like to exchange numbers? Would I like to exchange numbers? Would I like to exchange numbers? Is there a word that's more expressive than just plain yes? You thought. Sure, you said, trying to sound as calm as possible while the mariachi band played fanfare music in your head, topped off with the Hallelujah chorus. You put your number in and handed his phone back to him. He smiled. It was a beautiful, warm smile, a smile that warmed you from the inside out. Immediately you had flashbacks to when you were 5, being gifted a ring at your auntie's wedding. Shoto? You whispered as your eyes grew wide. Your hand clutched to your chest, encasing the ring on your necklace with the fabric of your shirt. Shoto's smile faded slightly and he looked at you. What's wrong, Yin? He asked. Shoto, I need to ask you something, you said as he quickly pulled the ring out of your shirt and showed it to him. You said this looked familiar and you said the word garden. Did you give this to me when I was 5 years old? Your heart was pounding wildly as you watched his face. He looked at you, and then down at the ring, and then back to you. No, Yin, I didn't, he said gently. Your heart sank. You'd been so sure. You'd been so sure it had been him. His smile just now connected the dots for you. How could it not be him? Oh, you said, disappointment setting in. Let me walk you home, Shoto offered, changing the subject. You nodded as you put the ring away and hopped up off your seat. The walk back to your house was somewhat quiet, but you didn't have the energy to try and maintain a conversation. I'll see you tomorrow, Yin, Shoto said as he left your house and headed to his own. You nodded and smiled. Thanks for everything, Shoto, you said as you waved goodbye and went inside. The jewel-haired heartthrob sighed and put his hands in his pocket as he strolled down the street, head down and deep in thought. I hope that she will forgive me, that I lied to her. Good morning, Yin, Shoto said, greeting you as you entered the classroom the next day. Hi, Shoto, you said shyly. The hell? Your ever-present blonde bomb yelled when he heard you greet Shoto by his first name. What is it now, you short-circuiting Furby? You hollered back, getting an instant bee in your bonnet. There's no hell you're calling him Shoto, if you're calling me Bakugou still. Yeah, but I don't call you Bakugou. I call you everything else that I can possibly think of, but rarely Bakugou, you replied smartly. Call me Katsuki, dumbass, he growled. Cat suck my balls, you said loudly. Bakugou, enraged with jealousy and frustration, lashed out at you. He wasn't intending to hit you, just throw a few explosions close by to show that he was serious, but he hadn't banked on Shoto jumping into your rescue. As his right arm came up, it was quickly encased in ice, anchoring it in place. You casually touched his now frozen form, activating your quirk and taking him to his knees as his arm was held up by the ice. Don't mess with me, Katsuki. If you have a problem, you can just talk to me about it, you said lowly as you crouched down in front of him. He looked up at you, seething. You stared down at him a second, and then touched him again and released the quirk. He coughed and breathed deeply, still staying on his knees. Shoto, you can release him now, you said kindly to your protector, and he nodded before solemnly getting you to work melting the ice off Bakugou. Bakugou's eyes watched you as you walked away and sat at your desk. Lover's row? Mina hummed curiously, looking at you from the side of her eye. Something like that, you mumbled, crossing your arms as you stared at Bakugou. During class he kicked your chair and passed you a note. You sneakily read it. Need to talk to you. Equipment shed. First break. You nodded, so he knew that you'd read it, and then put the note in your pocket. First break came and you made your way to the shed. Is it a good idea to meet in here? You asked Bakugou as you entered, your eyes finding the blonde in the shed instantly. Last time we were in here, I nearly died. So dramatic, he huffed. What do you want to talk to me about? You asked as you pulled up in front of him, arms crossed across your chest, looking up into those captivating red eyes. His breathing hitched slightly. Well, that was an interesting chapter. Stay tuned for chapter 19 tomorrow. See you there.